And now, Pujya Atman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji commences tonight's satsang with a Sanskrit peace chant.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And we begin with mystic song by Sri Swami Lalitananda, played and sung by Sri Swami Umananda and Rajanish.
Our song tonight is called Appear to Me. When you walk the earth, smiles and trees bend before you. Your crown of rubies touches the blue skies, delighting the free world. Goddess Lakshmi, shed your bhakti upon me, appear to me. May my dream of your beauty become a reality. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. Om Shri Mahalakshmi From afar I see your bright garland of flowers. Shower upon me your light, shield me from darkness. I see you shining in the rising sun. Your hand destroying the black karmas. I see you playing in the old lake, melting the floating ego of illusion. Ooh. I hear you singing of eternity. Oh, Goddess Lakshmi, gaze upon me with your infinite beauty. Give me health, wealth, and immortality. We are recording from the ashram of our revered Guru, Pujyatman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda in Miami, Florida. Today is October the 20th, 2020, Tuesday evening, and tonight Swamiji will be lecturing on the Yoga Vasistha. This is series 2018, class number 281. And now Pujyatman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda.
Om Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatītam Gagan Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadi Lakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatītam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adoration to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha in Nirvana Prakarana Purvardha, section 26. Section continues, and it is dialogue between Kakabhushunda, sage Kakabhushunda, and sage Vasistha. As you recall, Kakabhushunda has attained enlightenment, and he is a bird, a crow, and has been giving Vedantic teachings to countless birds, on a kalpaka tree. All this is allegorical description, and I have explained that before. But what your focus should be right now, to understand the state of enlightenment and how to lead your life, your whole personality, how to integrate your personality, to be able to have the revelation, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Not only just a glimpse of revelation, but full revelation. That's the state of Jivan Mukti, the state of Sthita Prajna. And that's being brought out through this allegorical story of sage Vasistha talking to crow sage Kakabhushunda. Sage Kakabhushunda, as if he is sharing all his experience with sage Vasistha, and they adore each other. O sage, Kakbhushunda says to Vasistha, being immersed in ceaseless samadhi, my mind is unable to allow itself to be entangled by the snare of worldly desires and expectations. First, most important point to understand, state of being established in samadhi should not be viewed like a painted picture, that when you attain samadhi, you will be somewhere stuck in one body until worms start eating up your body. The state of samadhi is an internal subjective experience, and that experience remains unshaken. But in relation to the external world, you cannot notice any change. A sage, if his hair is turning grey, it will continue. I'm joking, but the idea is to understand his body will age. He will have his good circumstances, bad circumstances, friends and foes. Anyone who lives in the world faces all this. Shouldn't be surprised. There's a story of all avatars. The avatars didn't have always friendly atmosphere. They passed through terrible challenges, and yet they were avatars. But even that description of avatara, if you view it from an advanced stage, every soul is Brahman. You are avatara. So, coming back to the main point, do not create the idea of staying in a state of meditation, meditative pose for a long, long time in the name of experiencing samadhi. The experience of samadhi is meant to enable you to live your life ever rooted in Brahman. This whole teaching is brought in the Gita as Sthita Prajna Lakshanas. When Arjuna asks, how does a sage sit, how does he walk, how does he talk? And Krishna goes on explaining that he is always in samadhi. That's called Sahaja Samadhi. It is spontaneous, there is no practice. My heart is ever untainted, like the sky without clouds. Therefore, I enjoy freedom from disease and death. Health is termed swastha in Sanskrit. And swa means self. Stha, to be established in the self. So to be really healthy means understanding that your identity is in crisis. what you view yourself to be is not real you. Just like in your dream, your identity is not correct. Your aham has gone into mayhem. And when you wake up, you are coming to your practical identity. From an advanced point of view, the true identity behind all aham, all I am, is the absolute aham brahmasmi. That aham is the sun. All souls evolving on the basis of mind, they are like reflected suns. And there can be countless reflections, but the reality behind every reflection is the sun. I am asleep to the world of the senses, but I am fully awake to the mystic world of the self. Now, any reflected sun, if you use allegorical way to understand it, any reflected sun, if it were to realize I am the sun, then the world that it is experiencing based on the condition of the water is mind and its vrittis. All this world has nothing to do with your identity. Senses, water shakes, reflection shakes, all things go on changing, but nothing to do with the identity, the sun. The sun is ever the same. So if that revelation has entered your heart, that ego is not I am, the real I am is aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Ego aspect is a reflected sun reflecting in a jar of water. And reflected sun has developed its illusion about its identity. That's ego. In Devi Puja, that ego was Shumbha, and its brother was Nishumbha. Ego is I am. It extends into sense of mindness. These things are mine. Every ego, every soul, every individual has a world of near and dear ones. No matter how big, but it's just a little drop in the vast universe. For a sage, the entire universe is near and dear and more endearing, because the entire world is the self itself. So, from near and dear to the distant goal, I behold the same reality of the self in the objects of past, present, and future. And all this again, more surprising, all that you have experienced in the past, and all that you think about the past, and all that you think about future, and all that you are experiencing in the present, every detail is the I am, the self. For easy understanding, think of your dream. In your dream, as long as you are dreaming, the dream has the same impact as your real practical day-to-day life. Even in your dream you have lost something. You lost your iPad. It's very bad. You become so miserable. But no matter whatever is happening in your dream, you are the reality. Your own identity, intrinsic identity is the reality. In the simile of the dream, your reality is the one who is lying on the bed. But what I am leading you to understand, that the self, the absolute self, Atman, Brahman, is unshaken reality. And all that you experience in your dream, every bit of it is nothing but the self. You have no hard time to understand. While you are right in the bed, you have gone through Alaska, Australia, and might have even taken an aircraft going beyond into the sky. I behold the self masking itself under the veil of objects that are dead, decaying, pulverized and destroyed. Nashvar Jagat. The world is perishable. So, everything that you are dealing with is transient, perishable, subject to many changes. I see the self presenting itself in ever renewed forms. And that's what we call change. What is now, a few minutes later, it has changed. So any change means it's renewed. It was not the same exactly before. Otherwise, why should you say change? And from a very advanced point of view, everything is changing every moment, and moment is the allegorical term. Even millionth of a second is a moment, and you are changing. You are never the same. But all these changes are in the realm of Maya. All the changes that occur in your dream, they are illusory. With this knowledge, I have maintained a life that knows neither death nor disease. Once you have attained a true identity and negated the illusion, I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect. If body, mind, intellect, pranas, all these have been viewed as not self, then there is neither death nor disease for you. I rejoice with those who are joyous and suffer from misery with those who are miserable. This is hard to digest. The I am is the reality in all individuals. This I am is the reality behind every particle of matter. But coming to more practical way to follow spirituality, you are not solving the problem of matter, you are solving the problem of your own personality. So, turning to your own personality, you must develop that deep understanding that just like you crave, not crave is not real term, you aspire, thirst for perfect fulfillment. And perfect fulfillment is attainment of enlightenment. Same reality exists in all individuals. In other words, if you are enlightened, your heart does not see differences like these are friends and these are enemies, and those people are just strangers. Who cares for them? Therefore, the prayer rings in the heart of sages, Sarve bhavantu sukhina. May all be happy. Sarve santu niramaya. May all be free of diseases, troubles. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. May everyone attain that experience, I am Brahman. And thus, termination, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhave, termination of misery. In Buddhist tradition, this is saying about Buddha that he would not choose to attain nirvana until every soul has attained nirvana. That's how Buddha first started in his mind. And it is, again, these are literature, philosophical literature, presented in so many ways, but the idea behind it, that the heart of a sage does not view anyone left out from the truth. All is Brahman. No one is left out. So if you want to attain Brahma, start working with your heart. And if you say it is such a vast job, you keep your heart calm and cool with 6 or 7 people around. It is hard. How to have a heart that sees I am in every individual. But the fact is, life's problem is not solved by your mental judgments. As the mind becomes purified, mind itself moves away. In other words, if you have little candle lights, they show only little things in your house. But if you are the sun, you are illumining all. From candle light state to the sun state. And that's the subtle secret of soul. Soul expresses under ignorance like a candle light or like a reflected sun. When ignorance moves away, reflected sun is nothing but the sun. So the problem, how can a little sun shining in a jar of water commune with other jars of water and converse with them, show sympathy and share their experiences? In other words, don't think that way. Simply allow your heart to become magnanimous through the realization that I am not the body, mind, I am Brahman. And that Brahman is the reality operating through every individual, every soul in this world. During adversity, I maintain the steadiness of a mountain. Also, these points are helpful for affirmation. So, even while you are distant from your goal, of course, that's normal, allow your mind, while practicing meditation, allow your mind to reflect upon with affirmation, I am like a mountain, and all these adversities cannot touch me. During prosperity, I continue to maintain friendliness towards all. And during prosperity, you are never overcome by the notion, how prosperous am I and how these people are wretched, and they deserve it. They worked hard. I am affected by neither prosperity nor adversity. Therefore, I have attained a life that is deathless and diseaseless. This is the antiviral attainment. Death is the worst virus. And sthit prajna is the antidote. I do not exist as this limited individual. I am not neither related to anybody, nor do I belong to anybody. These are all affirmations. Sitting in meditation, open your mind. Start, I am not the body, I am not the mind. Nothing exists, nothing belongs to me. I am neither related to anybody, nor do I belong to anybody. And bring the Vedantic study to support your affirmation. So that internally your conviction becomes mature and strong. And that paves the path of attaining Sahaja Samadhi. The firm connection, rather the firm conviction, has conferred on me an existence that is deathless and diseaseless. I am myself this universe. I am myself this vast sky. I am the extensions of time and space. All this requires deep reflection to understand what you are hearing. And difficulty is easily removed if you think of your dream. In your dream, your mind thinks of extension of time, long past, long and future, distant future, all that the mind deals with. But whatever the mind deals with is illusory when you wake up. And whatever your mind is dealing with is nothing but your own self. In physical world, if you don't have that enlightened state, there is always the idea comes in your mind. You want to go to a pilgrimage center, Tirth, purify yourself. And there is a lot of details, you can work it out through your own mind. When you are moving towards enlightenment, Man changa to katwat me Ganga. Even in your bathtub, you are enjoying sacred plunge in the Ganges water. Even that is allegorical. Even in your very heart, you are yourself. The sacred, absolute deity. You are Shiva. Jiva is Shiva. I have myself assumed the role of numerous activities in this world. All things that happen in the world, they are Maya-based appearances. And behind every appearance, the reality is Brahman. Abiding in this conviction, I have become free from death and disease. Every verse goes on rhyming with death and disease, death and disease. Rajneesh. I perceive the self in the earth as well as in the sky. The same Atman is the earth, Atman is the sky. You are everywhere on this earth, every item. You are everything in the sky, all the stars, the Milky Way. I perceive the self in the forests. Every little butterfly in the forest you are. Every swan, every peacock, all wondrous things that you crave to see and long to await to have experience. You are all the time. The time doesn't really matter. All illuminations that play countless roles are nothing but the sun. So if there is identity that I am the sun, the curiosity about how many reflections do I have has no meaning. The world is a curiosity. The cure is to realize I am the sun. I continue to abide here forever, watching with amusement the ocean of Brahman with its surging waves of creation and dissolution of the world. Allegorical language. Aham Brahmasmi, that's I am. Now all the world that goes on is just a maya, illusion. You are resting calmly on your bed, but all your dream that goes on is illusion. Section 27. Kakbhushunda is praised by sage Vasistha. They mutually adore each other. That's just allegorical. Of course, the sages not only adore each other as is the sage level, but adore everything. Siya Ram मैं सब जग जानी, करूं प्रणाम जोरी जुग पानी. Tulsidas, knowing all are Sita and Ram, with folded hands I bow down to that all Ram. Sage Ushunda said, O sage, sage of limitless knowledge, it's merely for the sake of carrying out your behest that I have emboldened myself to expound the teachings pertaining to the mystic science of prana and attainment of unimaginable longevity. Sage Vasistha said, O king of birds, it's a matter of great joy that I have heard from you the inspiring story of your life, as well as listened to your description of the mystic art of meditation on prana, leading to the attainment of freedom from death and disease. They are indeed fortunate who have the opportunity of having a glimpse of your inspiring and elevating personality. You exist as a second Brahma, the creator. Second Brahma, the creator, the meaning behind it. Brahma, the creator, is well known to let the souls follow the law of karma. Vidhi ka vidhan. Every soul must, and Brahma looks after every calculation. Allegorical language. The second Brahma opens the door to mukti, not just keeping bounded with your law of karma, but making you free from the world of karma and attain Brahma realization. Brahman is absolute self. Brahma is creator, so don't get confused. My eyes are blessed to have enjoyed your glorious sight. The story of your life is the purifier of the intellect. Again, all this mutual glorification of each other is being presented to the audience, to the people, as glory of satsanga. How satsanga is so important and glorious that even sages glorify each other. I have roamed in various directions, and I have encountered great gods and sages, but I have never met anyone like you, who are the repository of wisdom and mystic glory. Sage Vasistha says to the Kakabhushunda. Having met your holy personality, I deem myself very fortunate. I have indeed accomplished a great act of merit and sanctity by having paid a visit to your sacred shrine. May you now retire to your auspicious cave. My presence is now needed in my own abode. In brief, they are separating from each other. Having listened to my words, O Rama, the great sage Bhushunda offered flowers and sanctified water as an expression of his reverence for me. Then I rose from my seat, took recourse to an aerial flight. Vimans, old time. Sage Bhushunda, as an act of courtesy, followed me for several miles, and then only by my repeated insistence did he return to his abode. Okay. This is again illustration that you are enlightened. It doesn't mean that you don't follow courteous mannerism in your daily life. You live an exemplary life. So not only you enjoy living exemplary life, but you allow others to be inspired. Otherwise, all is Brahman. All right. Goodbye. I do it, you do it. Thus I have related to you the inspiring story of sage Bhushunda. Anyone of pure heart who listens to this story with devotion and reflects upon its message will without doubt attain freedom from all fears. He will cross the ocean of the world process. Next section, 28. The illusoriness of the body and the world. Sage Vasistha said, "O Rama, I have related to the story of sage Kakabhushunda, yogis who have adopted a mystic art of meditation on prana and apana, attain a spiritual state of detachment, and thus are led to self-realization. Likewise, may you advance on the path of detachment and enlightenment." These two points, Vairagya and Viveka. Vairagya is detachment. Viveka is pointing to enlightenment, wisdom. And these are progressive movements. Just to give you an idea, in Raj Yoga, Vairagya is described in 4 stages. Yatamanam, you are striving to control your mind and senses. The first stage, striving stage. Vyatirekam, you have advanced in your sadhana. Now you suddenly realize you have mastery over your eyes or mastery over your certain attachment, but you don't have total mastery. In some area you are very expert, you will not. If you are diabetic, you will not go after sugar. But we are not sure about other temptations. So there is a kind of vyatirekam, differentiating stage. Next, ekendriyam, you become more mature and come to realize controlling your mind and senses is a simple job. If the mind itself is brought into a state of concentration along with thoughtful movement, I'm not talking about ordinary concentration, which is dharana, but mind becomes calm, led by your vichar on the path of jnana yoga. Then you realize all your strength lies in your mind. You do not have to work hard to practice vairagya towards different objects with different type of effort. You are attached to money. You have to practice vairagya, how to view money in a correct way, how to be generous, etc. But then you are attached to many other things. That's a vyatireka state. But when the mind has become advanced and it has developed, found the key of devotion to God, surrender, in that movement, controlling all these things becomes a child's play, because you are an instrument in God's hand. So nothing in the world can distract you if you can secure that movement of your mind, Godward movement. So mind holds the key to all your practice of vairagya. Otherwise you are practicing step by step, and there are a million steps to go through. And then even ekendriyam, vashikar, Even that state, when you have developed deep, profounder stage of surrender to God, then you are Upadrashta cha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwara. God has become your Swami, your Lord and Master, Bharta and Bhokta. So that state is called Vashikaram. Now you have absolutely no worry about this. It's not your problem. See? And the goal is Paravairagya. Vairagya towards all the bhava pratyaya, all things that you experience based on vrittis of the mind. Vairagya, from detachment from all. And that's the same as moksha, liberation. Sri Rama asked, O sage, your teachings are like the luminous rays of the sun that dispel the darkness of ignorance from my heart. The wondrous story of sage Kakabhushunda has filled me with admiration. O sage, tell me about this body consisting of bones, flesh, and blood, which is a residence for the soul. Who has created it? Whence has it arisen? What is the true nature of the spirit that dwells in it? And what is the reason for which this body has been created? So, keep in suspense this to understand. All this has been told before. Rama forgot it. I'm joking. Implying teaching has to be repeated. Gada parinyaya. And Rama himself gives you the illustration. Om Ram 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 Om Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om. Prayer for shower of Karunamaya Rasa grace of God over all and the blessings of Shakti, Bhakti and Mukti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukumva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Mritam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Hari Om Tat Sat.
Are there any questions tonight? Swamiji, I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a difference between Vashikar and Paravaragya as you explained it?
Mm-hmm. You are watching a cinema show. Vashikara is keeping your mind cool no matter what the show brings. Paravairagya, the entire show you are not interested. Dump the whole show.
Okay, thank you. So we're back on our regular schedule. Tonight was Yoga Vasistha. Tomorrow it continues. Friday, Tulsi Ramayana. 7:30. Saturday, guided meditation at 7:30. And Sunday, Bhagavad Gita lecture at 5:30.